The Apple TV is finally caught up to the 4K revolution. It may be late to the game, but Apple's latest set-top box pulls out all of the stops to be the best on the field. It's packing incredibly powerful new hardware that leaves competitors in the dust, and a much improved tvOS platform that's years ahead of its rivals. It may seem pricey at $179, but with amazingly sharp videos and great apps and games all rolled into one, the Apple TV 4K is well worth the upgrade. There's no way to tell the difference between the Apple TV 4K and its most recent predecessor at first glance. It's still a compact, elegantly designed black box with rounded corners that will look right at any home and any TV cabinet. It's exactly the same size despite big internal changes. That means setup is just as simple as it always was. Plug in the power cable, connect it to your TV over HDMI and you're good to go. There's also an Ethernet port if you need it, which you might for streaming 4K video, but Apple has done away with the USB-C connector. The only exterior improvement is a subtle one. Apple has altered the base of the device to include an air vent, which improves cooling for the device's powerful new hardware. Not much has changed for the Siri Remote either. It looks almost identical this year, except now there's a white ridge around the menu button. It's a small but welcome change that means you now know if you're holding the remote correctly when it's dark. There's still 2 microphones for talking to Siri, an accelerometer, a 3-axis gyroscope for playing games, Bluetooth 4.0, infrared for connectivity, a touch-sensitive pad for navigating tvOS, and a lightning connector for charging. But here's where we get into the big changes. Thanks to an A10X Fusion processor, the same one you'll find in the latest iPad Pro, Apple TV 4K is insanely fast. It's by far the most powerful set-top box on the market, and that's not just for 4K video. It's also to make Apple TV 4K a fabulously impressive and affordable games console. We've already been graced with some wonderful tvOS games, but with that A10X chip they're going to get even greater. They load faster, graphics can be pushed further, and they'll be more responsive. The same can be said for tvOS itself. It's incredibly snappy on this new hardware, which means accessing your favourite content and switching between it is even more seamless. We also have awesome new features in tvOS, which I'll come back to in a minute. The primary reason you'll want to buy an Apple TV 4K, however, is for super sharp video. It supports playback at up to 2160p, which is twice the resolution of 1080p video played by its predecessors. That's a massive upgrade. It doesn't just pack more pixels either. Apple TV 4K also supports HDR, which stands for High Dynamic Range, meaning movies and TV shows aren't just crystal clear, they're beautifully vibrant too. You'll enjoy colours and contrast you've never gotten from Apple TV before. If you have a compatible set of speakers or a soundbar, you can enjoy Dolby Digital Plus 7.1 surround sound for the time being, although Apple has announced it plans to support Dolby Atmos sometime in the near future. Right out of the box, 4K content looks amazing to watch, images are much crisper, the contrast is amazing, and it makes watching old-fashioned HD content just look, well, bland. Even the tvOS graphics have been updated to 4K to pop as soon as you switch over from cable to your Apple TV. The sound isn't something I've been able to play with too much as my speaker setup isn't Dolby compatible, so for me personally, no change there. But check the Cult of Mac written review as our very own Leander Caney may be able to give you a bit more information there. One of the most thoughtful things about the new Apple TV is that thanks to Apple's deal with many movie studios, the 1080p movies you've already purchased from iTunes are automatically upgraded to 4K at no extra cost. Well, for the most part. There are some exceptions such as Disney who won't play ball, but many movies are eligible. You'll also be able to enjoy 4K content from the likes of Netflix and soon Amazon Prime. One thing you won't be able to enjoy in 4K HDR however is YouTube. That's because Apple doesn't support the VP9 video format that YouTube serves up, so the best you'll get is 1080p. Hopefully YouTube or Apple will find some fix for this in the near future, as YouTube has always been a great source for 4K content. #Team Crispy. The first thing you'll notice about tvOS 11 on Apple TV 4K is its user interface, which now displays in 4K with insanely sharp text and images. It also supports automatic dark and light mode switching based on the time and your location, which I absolutely love. I like to use the light mode throughout the day, then at night when all the lights are out and a film is finished, I'm not blinded by the super bright menus. When you watch content that isn't in 4K, tvOS automatically upscales and processes it at the highest rate your TV supports, though this sometimes backfires as content can end up being noisy and contrast levels being pushed too far. You'll also get to enjoy home screen syncing between all of your Apple TVs, so if you download an app on one, it'll show up on another, and the ability to connect your AirPods and other Bluetooth headphones if you're watching TV late at night and don't want to wake anyone up. Apple has also added new features to its excellent TV app, like the option to track your favourite sports teams and receive notifications when they're playing live, and soon you'll be able to ask Siri for sports updates or to play live games at any time. Other tvOS 11 changes include stunning new 4K screensavers and support for Apple's new AirPlay 2 platform, which allows you to stream to more than one product at a time. Combined with the new hardware on Apple TV 4K, tvOS makes finding and watching your favourite content faster than ever before. Games load quicker, and switching between apps is smooth and snappy. No matter what you use your Apple TV for, it's more responsive now. If you have a 4K HDR television, it deserves an Apple TV 4K. There's no better device for putting all of your favourite movies and TV shows, streaming services and great games in one place. For $179, the Apple TV 4K is the most expensive set-top box on the market. But it's also the most versatile, simple to use, and it's got the cheapest 4K content around. For me, it's the only option. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments section down below if you've picked up the Apple TV 4K, what are your thoughts? Maybe you've not even got a 4K TV yet, let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, go ahead and hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe for more videos on the iPhone 8, iPhone 10, new Apple Watch and much more. I'll catch you in the next one.